Howdy all, Whatlox Lives. I think it's time to play a little Some Days Die. Apparently I wanted to sing it today. Yeah, I think I'm gonna mosey on. I was looking at the map, and I feel like I've probably covered most garages and stuff in town now. Looking for those. Looking for those rare of rare cooking pots. And, forge and workbench books. We'll see what we can see. There was a road out this way I didn't take yet. It looked like I'd gone down part of it, but I didn't stay on the main road. I went off into the woods for some reason out here. So I thought maybe I would check down this way, because the other road just took me deeper and deeper into the wilderness. So I finally, I don't know if I got killed or I must have died. I just want to make a bicycle. That's all I'm asking for. Just a bicycle. Yeah, it's it's been a rough week for my back this week. It's been pretty bad. I don't know what I did to it, but I basically been fighting what feels like a muscle cramp that runs from my lower back all the way down my left leg to my ankle. Not necessarily constant, but you know, pretty consistently. Right now it's not too bad. But oof, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were rough. I don't think I slept much at all Monday and Wednesday nights. I don't know why Tuesday wasn't so bad, but Monday and Wednesday nights were awful. I think Thursday morning I woke up with just felt like a Charlie horse in my calf muscle, along with the consistent pain in my hip. I think I have sciatica. I think I think that's what I googled. That's what Google told me. Dang holiday weekend. That's all I can figure. I don't know. You know what it is I've got a list of things I have to clean up in the yard from the insurance company. That's what it is. And because I've got to do that, now my back is killing me. Happens every time. I mean, this is only like the second time the insurance company has come out to give us a list of things. They're always weird things too. I know we talked about it already, but they came out once before and they're like, all brush must be trimmed from around the residence, and the pool needs a gate on the deck. and we had a deck that went right up to a pool before the pool a couple of years ago broke. And I don't know, they didn't like that for some reason. We had to throw a little pond that nobody ever goes to. It's in the middle of the yard. We're not outdoors people. Which is why I wish we had moved into a condo or something instead of this house with a giant yard. I mean, at the time, I guess there were people who were outdoory people who, lived all together here. But those outdoory people don't live here anymore, and now I've got to take care of the outdoory stuff. I don't do outdoor stuff. I don't know, man. But, yeah, so... Anyways... Been a rough week. I'm really particular about how I lay in my bed when I sleep. And, I cannot lay in the positions that I normally sleep in. And I don't like it. There's only like one position that kind of works. And it's not. I don't sleep on my back, and the only way to get my leg to stop hurting is to kind of sleep on my back. I'm a side sleeper. Which you think I'd just be able to sleep on the side, the one side, which I would more than happily do. And no. Did I make it on my road? I did. Okay. It's a little weird that I was just out here wandering around. It's quite the tower going on here. Is this place? It's a military base? It is. Okay. Not quite what I'm looking for. And, soldiers wear helmets. And my poor stone spear is not the best thing for fighting with helmets. I did get to watch a couple of things over the weekend, though. So spoilers for the couple of things I watched. I watched this movie called Edmonton. Because people were telling me it was really good. And, yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I didn't get it. I don't know, man. It's they're like, "Oh, it's a dark comedy. You'll like it." I'm like, "Okay, I do like dark comedies." It wasn't funny. No part of it was funny. I don't There's like this weird surreal, I guess, surreal the right word? There's like this I don't know what word I want to use. There's this type of movie they make every once in a while where everything's like played not quite serious, but it's not also being funny. And Edmonton is one of those, I think. Movies that come to mind are like Rushmore is an old movie about this can't even remember. It's been so long since I've seen it. It's a high school student, right? And he's fighting with the faculty and the other students. But it's like this. I wouldn't even call it satire because it's not. I don't know. It. I didn't like Rushmore. And then there's another one with uh it's like Matthew Broderick and this he's the principal, and there's this girl who wants to run for um class president, and him and her get into it, so he tries to make somebody else the class president. Um and then there's a couple of them I think with Bill Murray that everybody seems to love, and I can't stand them. They're not my kind of thing. I just I don't find them to be funny. And so maybe this was in that kind of vein, but I, man, it was, for one, it didn't really have a story, which I didn't like, and it was just like some things happened, uh, and some of the things that happened made no sense, and I don't know. It wasn't good. If somebody asked me, I'd tell them not to watch it. It's boring. Um, I didn't enjoy any of it. I don't know. Okay, we've made it to the end of the road. I'm gonna guess left doesn't make it very far. Is this like a rest stop? It is. Basically it's set during COVID, and so there's like this weird. Okay, it's somewhere in the southwest, like Arizona or something, and there's the sheriff, and I guess he's the town sheriff, and then there's like the native police because there's a native reservation nearby. And then they also mentioned like the state police, so I'm not sure who all's who, but it starts off with the sheriff sitting in his car listening to a podcast with his windows rolled up, eating his lunch, and the one of the other police groups show up and basically threaten to arrest him because he's not wearing a mask. And then so it's a little bit about, I don't know, it was weird. It was just weird. It was like they weren't letting people into the grocery store unless they wore a mask. And the sheriff saw them and he got out and threw a fit. And he refused to wear a mask. And so he doesn't think that anybody else should have to wear a mask if they don't want to. And so he tells them they have to let the guy in. And then when the guy gets in, the store manager is like, yeah, it's store policy that you have to wear a mask if you're in here. And the guy wouldn't put on a mask, so they made him leave. And so the sheriff saw the mayor was in there, and him and the mayor don't like each other. And so he throws a fit about that. And then he takes the guy's groceries out to him. And then the guy, that is a flatbed full of crawlers. So the guy puts in his head a little bit that he should run for mayor against the other mayor. And then that's pretty much the end of the COVID thing. And I don't even understand the point of the mayor thing because none of that mattered either. Um, and so it was weird that that was like for 3 seconds part of the story, and and then um yeah, and so basically the mayor started running for, or the sheriff started running for mayor against the mayor. The mayor is involved in some kind of I don't know if it's shady deal, but he's involved in some kind of deal to bring in a data center. And some of the people are against it, and he's kind of rough riding over them. But even that was only like 3 seconds of the story. Like there's like one scene where that even mattered, and then it didn't matter anymore. So I don't. The whole movie felt like that to me. They'd bring something up, and then it would never come up again in any way that made any difference to the film, and there was no actual story. Um, I mean, I guess I could piece together a story. The the sheriff's wife dated the mayor. This is big spoilers. The sheriff's wife dated the mayor when they were in high school for like 2 dates, and I think they didn't really say, but it seems like um her father abused her, and so she didn't want the mayor to touch her, and so he dumped her, and so she's still like that with the sheriff now, like 40 years later, and and then and then his mother-in-law is really into conspiracy stuff online, and so she basically invites this crazy guy, cult dude, to their house, and he says that he was abused as a child. Only I'm not sure he was, because he's all like, you know, I only now remember it from all the hypnosis and blah blah blah. You know, that I've been doing to bring it back, and and so it sounded to me like he wasn't actually ever abused. He's just using it as a, grifty kind of thing he's doing. And I probably need these yucca seeds. I don't need tree seeds. And so then the sheriff's wife ran off with him, and then behind all that, the sheriff's kid and the sheriff's kid's friend are kind of a little bit fighting over this girl who's really into Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. And so the friend is like changing his personality to match hers so that she will interact with him. And so, but she seems more interested in the mayor's kid, and then uh, the I don't know if he gets a call out to the mayor's place, but you know what? At the beginning of the film, the um, the sheriff does get a call out to a bar that's supposed to be closed that the mayor's having a meeting at, and there's a homeless guy trying to get in, and the mayor wants him removed, and the sheriff is like, "You're not even supposed to be here," and the mayor is like, "This is official town business, and wherever the mayor is, it's official business," kind of thing. And so, uh, the mayor, then later on in the movie, toward the end, the mayor is having a big party at his house, and the sheriff goes over there. I don't know why, but he did. And I don't remember him getting a call or anything. But he goes over there and he tries to turn down the music, and the mayor turns it back up, and the sheriff turns it back down. And then the mayor slaps him across the face. And then he. What is. Oh. Well, this is new. Am I on fire? What's happening here? Smoke. Okay, well, if I wander over to this side of the road. Well, that's cool. I haven't seen that mechanic before. Alright, we can't go into burn territory anymore. Not till I get a gas mask, I guess, or something. That's interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen that smoke mechanic. So anyways, the mayor slaps him a couple of times, and then instead of doing something about it, he leaves. And then he's driving through town, and the homeless guy has now busted into the bar. And so he walks in, and the guy turns and yells at him, so he shoots him. And then he dumps that body in the river, and then he pins that guy's no, I'm sorry. He dumps that guy in the river, and then he goes and he gets his rifle, and then he goes out and he shoots the mayor and the mayor's son that night. And the spot he was on was, oh, look at that. Oof. I can't go into a four zombie territory. That will just murder me. I can't go in the smoke. Can't go in the zombie territory. All right. Well, maybe we can skip around the edge of this, back out to the road where I left off, and see if it leads us someplace where I can loot a little bit. Would be nice. I should chop this up here, actually. I forgot about honey. So yeah, then he tries to blame it on his deputy, and I'm like, okay, this movie's boring and dumb at this point. I'm just like, I don't like it. I'm gonna finish it, but I don't like it. And then it went off the rails. They showed a airplane coming in with a bunch of guys masked up who had like Black Lives Matter posters, and they were flying in an airplane, and they broke into the police station and removed the deputy that he had blamed the mayor's murder on. And so then they followed fiery arrows out to the desert, and they found the deputy standing in the middle of a field with the headlights of his car shining on him. And so they ran over and told him he needed to lay down. They were going to arrest him again. And the dude is mumbling something, and then they zoom in on him, and he's like, there's a drone flying in the sky next to him, and he's like, I can't say anything or they're going to kill us all or something. And so they've got him standing there, and one of the other deputy, there's two deputies, the other deputy runs in to arrest him, and the people watching, the people who came in on the airplane, blow up the bomb that the other deputy is standing on or is attached to him, I don't know. And so it kills the deputy who ran in. It knocks the sheriff down. Oh, you know, I did miss one thing before all this happened. The sheriff's wife ran off, as well, with the cult guy. And, so then, so yes, they blew up the bomb, the sheriff goes down, his deputy dies, not the one with the bomb, but the other one that ran in dies, and the one with the bomb gets injured, and the sheriff grabs the gun from his deputy who died, and then starts having a shootout with these guys, and they've got like huge guns. Everybody's got huge guns just shooting, like huge sniper rifles and all this stuff. The sheriff breaks into a gun store and comes back out with like a massive machine gun, like something that would be mounted on a jeep, and he starts shooting at him, uh, and eventually the gun he has either jams or runs out of bullets, and the guy he's trying to kill, the last one of the Antifa guys who showed up, that's what they said, they were Antifa guys, uh, pulls out a big knife and he jams it in the sheriff's head, like straight down through the top of his head. And the kid from earlier who was changing his personality to match the girls shows up, and he pulls a gun and then films himself shooting the guy who just stabbed the sheriff in the head. And then they show him being all opposite of what he'd been pretending to be before. Now that he's got a massive, podcast. And then the sheriff survived, but he's like totally paralyzed. And he's living with his mother-in-law, and she has basically ran him to be the new mayor, and so she's controlling things since he can't do anything. And they find out that his wife who'd run off is now pregnant with the cult leader's child. And that was basically the end of the movie. Oh, they did this guy's gonna kill me. Oh, I was gonna put down the bedroll, but I didn't get to it in time. That's too far to run back to my base anyways. It's ridiculous. I need a closer town. But yeah, I don't know. That was the movie, and I'm just like, people are saying this is good. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's not for me. So yeah, if that sounded interesting to you, you should check it out. But I would give it a pass. And then the other show I watched was nope, that doesn't go in there. The other show I watched was a horror movie called that doesn't go in there either. Together. I feel like I've seen another movie with the same premise. It was pretty boring. It was really boring. It was the most nothing happened movie. I mean, okay, stuff happened, but nothing happened movie. Really. Couple from the city moved to the country. They're kind of fighting a little bit because he used to be a musician, and whatever happened, I don't think they ever say. He kind of stopped being a musician, and then started dating her, and the guy's or her brother is talking to him and says, okay, so I've tried further to the east, I've tried way to the south. There aren't any other roads. There aren't any other roads. I guess I could try this one. It's not really a road though, but the path. Uh, so yeah, there was a scene in the movie where the brother is like, the brother of his fiance, is like, dude, when you started dating my sister, I thought you'd get her to change and make her more fun, but it's gone the other way. And so they asked him if he would tour with them, and he agreed to tour with them without asking her. Ooh. And so then they moved out into the country where she's going to be a school teacher. And then there's like no sit up or anything. They just, you know what? The movie starts with the sit up. Uh, these two dogs are lost in the woods and they're in a weird cave. And in the weird cave, they drink from the weird pool of water. And then the next day, the family finds the two dogs are starting to merge together. And so then they skip to the people moving from the city. They get to their new house in the country. There's like some rats in the ceiling that are all sort of stuck to each other. I think. Oh, you know, I was just going to this road. I ran right past it. The uh, they decide to go for a walk, and they kind of get lost in the woods, and it starts to pour the rain, and they fall into the cave where the dogs were at, and then they drink water from the weird pit of water. Um, it's got like tentacles growing into it, which, you know, I'd be like, not drinking the tentacle water, but they went ahead and did, and then they fell asleep, and then when they woke up, their legs were stuck together a little bit, and so they peeled them apart, and then I think they kissed in a scene, and then their lips stuck together, and just stuff like that, uh, and it just ended with them decided to give in to like their bodies were actually trying to pull them together. Like no, it wasn't even their bodies. There were a couple of scenes where like they were just being like pulled along the floor by a force trying to get them next to each other so they'll merge into one creature. And then they decided to let it happen, and that was the end of the movie. And I'm just like, eh, I don't know. I don't know what they were trying to do here. It wasn't scary. There wasn't really a whole lot leading up to it. Um, there's like one person in it that's also a merged person, which they show you, and she doesn't react. Um, 'Cause they did a thing where uh like I feel like they must have CGI'd a composite of the two people as a person. And so they made a couple of people. Oh god, these guys probably should shoot them. Probably should put some bullets in my gun. Okay, probably should just kept shooting. Oh, listen, lady. Great. Now I'm infected. And I got a sprain or a broke bone or something. Can I bandage that? I cannot. It's a broke bone. Hmm. So, yeah, so I found that one to be really boring. I just was not impressed. Uh, I don't know. They should have done more with them being stuck together and making them like make them at least more afraid of being stuck together than they were. I didn't feel like they were very scared of being stuck together. On the other hand, like, if they decided that was their one true companion for the rest of their lives, because that was the thing, right? There was like a big cult, and the cult was all like, you find your one true companion, and then you merge into a single being, and then you know each other's thoughts and stuff like that. And but again, the cult barely played a part in the movie, and I don't know. I think the best part was the dogs at the beginning of the movie, and they never did anything like that again. Um, I also watched through the new sequel to the sequel. I watched through the new The Paper season one. I kind of like The Office. I kind of don't like The Office. Um, I'm not a big Steve Carell fan, so I don't really like the parts with Steve Carell that much. But I do like the parts with Jim and Pam and oh, I can't remember what's the guy that sits across from Jim. Dwight. I like the Dwight stuff, especially the Dwight and Jim stuff is super funny. So they have a new series called The Paper. It's okay. It's better than it's a little bit better than mid. It's not a lot better than mid, but it's a little bit better than mid. It's not as good as The Office. Uh, they got this British guy on there who I'm sure is involved in writing it and creating it. I can't stand him. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much been my week. Not one single garage did I find today. I am never getting a workbench. I have, however, found my third military base today. Ow. So that's not helpful. Alright, well, with that, I am going to call it a day. Burn small things, lean the light. I will talk to you later.